Did you find any of the videos, either of the excursions or the classes or anything else helpful in Hanson?
Yes, I did. This was the first class I'll say I ever had with, well, we actually had the lectures recorded and videoed, and eventually you could go back to them, because even sitting in class you may miss certain things. So going back to them afterwards was really, really helpful. It does a good job of putting you in the space of the discussion one more time, instead of whereas you can just go back to the notes and it takes away the context of the class. So that really helped. And particularly Ayikoyama, I mean, I've been reading his books since it was introduced to me in high school, and he was someone that really had a profound impact on my life, and I couldn't ever speak to him or see him because apparently he's no longer in Ghana and won't be coming back. And then this chance we had with Doc to actually speak to Ayikwe and converse with him and find out his world view was just, it was something I know is probably gonna end when I grow older, because he may have passed on. So it's a chance I know will never come again. It was really, really helpful.
Okay. And then the excursion or any of the classes, were you able to share those with any friends, or you mentioned how it was helpful to you? Were you able to interact with anyone else who perhaps saw them or got any benefit from it, or even other classmates that you could discuss?
I shared a lot of the information with the Foundations of African Thought class with friends outside the department and friends outside the University of Ghana, workers. And I found a lot of the time it's like, oh, she's probably telling us stories, myths, until I share some of the videos Doc shared with us. For instance, the one that really took me by storm and I kept evangelizing to people outside of the department were the videos with Dr. Fitch, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, about the great year, great month, the cycles. And at first it sounded like a myth till I shared those videos with one of my friends who works in media in Ghana. And he was just like, wow, this is so true. So I think the video helps, because you can't always teach, you can't always tell them what you hear and say it properly. So with the video with Doc himself actually saying, other videos that talk about system issues, it actually makes people understand it better. So yeah, it helped, and he wants me to keep sending him. So what I'll do is just send him links to the whole class, so you can actually have that without having to pay so much to come to the University of Ghana.
Yeah. And I had there was a friend who's in DC, and y'all have never met, but she connected with you. She was like, yeah, that's a strong sister. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Far to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think that was another thing, is that your class, a graduate class, tends to be small, but your class had like 100 extra people like every week. There's one sister was like, yo, I'm gonna keep refreshing YouTube every hour until until it comes up. Yeah. So also, what about the excursion? What was your thought about the excursion and then the video too?
Oh my goodness, the excursion. It was, I'm Ghanaian, but Doc took me to my first shrine ever. First time I was ever speaking or meeting with the traditional priestess, finding out the world view, and you found a lot of the things we studied in class, she said, she believed, and showing you through her everyday work. And it was so profound for me, because I mean, being there was already a slap in the face, and afterwards having to watch the videos, especially the dancing, the procession, and just a lot of her talking about the world view and how we're all messed up and are not on a proper trip. Just really listening to it, because I do not understand tree so well, so I missed a lot of things. But having to go back to the videos, listen, have someone translate certain bits of it to me was another trip on its own. There were lots of things that missed me, and watching it and having someone translate helped so much, so much. And so yeah, there are lots of things I'm worrying Doc about as it went, but yeah, it helped so much, and I hope to go again almost every month if I can. find myself and video it too.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful testimony. One of the ideas for the class was, just that, to help you all to, go back to it. It's not that everything I'm going to hear and everything's going to be in my notes, but later on I can go back, I can see it, I can hear it. So yeah, I'm very glad, and I found you to be one of the sharpest people in the class.
Really?
Yeah. Because, just the questions, or questioning things, I'm like, good. I prefer someone who questions than someone who's just sitting there like a log and like blah blah. So yeah, I found that to be, very good. Several of the students, some I couldn't tell because they never say anything. Others they talk and it's like, okay, good. There's thought,
Sure.
going on.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm going to Kemet on Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said so.
Yeah, so
Oh, nice.
I'm giving a presentation on empowerment of students and teachers through the use of video in the classroom and beyond, in the African classroom and beyond. And
So help.
yeah,
Big
so
time.
this video is part of
Okay.
that video presentation. And this is what I would like to see done on a much wider scale. Like, it's an innovation here, but it's not like an innovation like nobody's ever done it before. But I think that if more of us do this, for me, I have a soft spot for your class because y'all are a historical class. You yourselves are
first
historical.
class?
This is the first class for Foundations of African Thought.
Oh wow.
Period. It's never been, taught here before. So it was a new class in the African Thinker series. And yeah, I think that everything that we do is historical as African studies, and it needs to be preserved for posterity. So
Sure.
you all are part of the historical record.
Video is now like carving in stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
Charlie, this is a revolution. I'll lie to you, honestly. I mean, like you said, normal Ghanaian classes, you have to sit down and always try and catch the notes quickly or chew and pour.
Yeah.
I mean, if this could be the normal thing, you just have a discussion, you just soak it in, come back.
Yeah.
It'll do much better for your mind.
Yeah.
And the no exam thing was amazing. Okay, exam but take home, that was amazing. That was amazing. Those some of us didn't keep up to it. That was amazing.
Yeah, I think the take home, for me, the whole thing was, I want to know what you're thinking. I want you to reflect what's in your head and just put it on paper. And I think that by and large, a lot of the exam paradigm is we're trying to weed folks out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not my goal, so why am I doing something that's not what my goal is?
Sure.
So on the 19th, you all have the take-home final. And then we'll bring it back on the 26th. I'll actually be still in Kemet. But yeah, anything else about the class overall, or that you would like to say to those?
Can I say it all here?
Oh, feel free.
Nah,
You
come
got
on.
some
It will
time.
take like 10 hours recording.
Oh, feel free. I have 256
Hey! I did philosophy in undergrad, and it was my second year in the same University of Ghana, and it was African philosophy was the second year curriculum, and that was my first awakening, I should say. That's when I went really, actually, this is what I have to be studying now. I should always wear African print.
Who
That's
was
when I
the
went
teacher
natural.
there?
Dr. Martin.
Ajay?
Yeah, Martin Ajay.
Good. Pull it out.
But yeah, he was the one, basically, and so yeah, I put him there. I respect him. So that's where the first awakening happened. But this was uncharted territory, man. I mean, there are a lot of things I learned now that we didn't do in African philosophy undergrad. So maybe that was necessary just to give you a sign that something's coming, and this was the real deal. I mean, I'm still soaking a lot of it in, and trying to make it a part of my life now, particularly my language, which is the biggest thing. I try to stay away from speaking it because every time I do, I'm made fun of, and this is wide scale, not just normal conversation, even on radio or TV, I'm made fun of. So I'm not encouraged to, but now I think I would no matter what, because of this class, because the words is the word. So I mean, and that's what I learned from Doc, that the words, the language is where the worldview actually is. If I understood that, no one would have to interpret my worldview for me in skewed ways. It's in a language, you know. So that's the major thing I'm going to try and tackle. Apart from seeing the comfort every other Saturday, just get some blessings, and yeah. For now, that's what I'll end. The rest of it will come on my papers as I keep sending it to you.
Good. Yeah, this was very good. You know, for me, the language, everything is in the language. And like I told you, this just the concept of vaccination came from Africa, and this is what this is. So you have the Urugu virus coming at you through movies, through TV, through radio, through every single aspect of media. It's all Urugu virus, and the whole goal is they want to survive. They don't want justice to be done. If justice is done, they don't survive. If they don't survive, it means that justice is done. So every single thing around you is to make sure when we survive, you know. Do I need to send you another movie? When we survive, we send you.
True.
So, you know, this is really inoculation, you know, as I see it, because I remember when I was in undergrad, I think I told you all, I had this African, what was it? It was just communication studies.
But wasn't Masina J who taught you?
This is in the U.S. This is Morehouse College.
Okay.
And he was like, I met him in 98, 2000. And I think he was just about to start or like had done his MPhil or something at that time. I don't remember. But he had a paper on libation and ewe, Fochidi. I still remember the word, and I don't know the tones. But it was the idea of like striking a vibration. And it, you know, it was very profound. So I was like, this is a different type of African philosophy, because when I came here for study abroad, I don't remember his name. Maybe I should follow it up. He's what this class is based on. His class was upside down, like this is the right side of version, because all we read was Socrates, Plato, Hegel, Hume, Kant, Descartes, blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And the very last class he gave us like Wamijichi, like one article. So I was like, this needs to be what I had hoped that class would be. So everything we've been dealing with African stuff, then the last class, now we'll see how Eurasian thought relates to, you know, African stuff, whatever. But yeah, that, and it's also, when I think about it in the context, it shows that something good can come out of something bad, because there couldn't have been a worse class for African, you know, than that class.
I get you.
It was like being abused to sit through that. So yeah, Martin Ajay, I haven't seen him since I've been back.
Yeah,
I don't know if
this
he's still
whole year
around.
I've also tried to reach out, but I didn't meet him.
Okay.
But I mean, I met him after I left a couple of times.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
I'll try to follow up. Because
But did you ever meet him? Did he ever teach you?
I met him. No.
He never
No. He wasn't a teacher at that time. He wasn't a teacher at that
okay.
time. This is 2000. I don't even know if he was like at University of Ghana as a lecturer.
Okay.
But I met him. My mother was president of Association of Black Psychologists, and they brought like 500 psychologists from the U.S. here.
Okay.
And he came to the conference.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know where he was in his studies, but he wasn't
a lecturer then.
Yeah.
He did something profound there, and when we're leaving, finally, the philosophy class, the African philosophy class, he brought, it was also another exchange thing, he brought about 12 or so. Afternoon. Hey, please, is that something for me? I'm very hungry.
Are you sure?
Very hungry.
Is there any animal in here?
Thank you.
I'll see you, brother.
Okay.
If it's white rice, I will give it to you.
Charlie, I'm trying to stop on this white rice ahead.
If it is white rice indeed, let me give it to you.
Please, I beg you, don't do that to me. I told you I'm trying to stop the rice thing.
I don't
It's
know
rice
what
on Saturday.
So I'll give it to someone. You just say you're hungry, but I'll give it to someone.
I'm hungry, but
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I'm such a foodie, eh? Oh my god. It's terrible.
If you're trying to stop eating poison disguised as white rice.
You know?
I won't help to poison you.
Please don't. So he brought a bunch of a group of African American students, right, who were also like second, third year.
Yeah.
And this was big in our time because I mean, this was where we have a lot of African American students on the University of Ghana campus. But there's always that divide we speak about, like they still see African Americans as me and all that. So we sat in the same class, and he encouraged us to break all those barriers, say the truth, say what it is you want to say to the Africans. Africans need to say what we want to say to them. I mean, there were lots of things that you can't say openly, like for instance, oh, but you African Americans, yeah, like this, yeah, like that. But in that forum, he allowed us, and it was like some kind of healing process. We spoke, we talked. I performed a piece which resonated with them as well. I started crying at the end of the piece. Some of the girls started crying at the end of the piece. It was just like wow, you know. So that was one thing I'll put him there. He was the starter, and this class just gave me the real deal, you know, the real deal. I'm trying to find him. But yeah. But Charlie Doc, you are there. Thank you very, 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 very much.